Once again, I welcome you all to our council meeting. It's good to see so many of you here again. This evening, we'll be going to our regular agenda and having an executive session toward the end to consider appointment of public officer or employee. So, having said that, public comment. Is there any public comment? I didn't think we were going to skate away from that.
If you sit there, I can keep an eye on it. No, go. If you want.
Alrighty, first up is Mr. James Appa, Senior.
Yes, I wanted to thank everybody that turned out to run for city council and all my worthy opponents that are here tonight, and also the help that was extended by the city. And this is my first time having run for an office, and I wanted to thank everybody that helped me to do that. And again, the help I got from the city. I thank you very much.
Thank you, James. Okay, Sandy Eads.
I want to talk to you tonight about the 4th of July. I'm not going to get caught for 35 days. As you know, the golf course does not want to let us use it again. And I did not know whether that was just the 3F Foundation, and I call that 4 Fat Female Foundation because that's who did it. We were just not having enough clout. The issues they brought forth, every one of them seemed to me to have an option and a workable, resolution to it. But I'm not sure we have the clout to pull that off. So I'm asking for help. I've spoken with Randy Dryden. I personally think the chamber is a good fit for that to run it. We don't have egos. We don't have to have our name on it. We just need a 4th of July. We're in a little predicament because we're paid for next year. How do you return money to the city that's been put in, jars? So I think it would be a tremendous loss to this town not to be able to continue with the 4th. And I truly think that every issue they had, we could do something about it. The drinking was a big problem. If they don't want to sell beer, I'll pay them the amount that they made for selling beer. I mean, there's just a solution. So if anyone has any clout or wants to join us in asking them to reconsider this, it's a long-term standing, and I just think it would be a tremendous loss to this city if we didn't have the 4th. Plus, I've already had to turn down, we have 50 people from Portland who found out we were in costumes, and they were already making costumes for the 4th. So that's taking 50 people away from the motels here, so it's costing already, and not only enjoyment for our town. So if anybody has any better ideas than I do, willing to put it in, you know where to find me. We sure need help. Thank you.
Thanks. Eugene Cathcart.
I just wanted to speak to everyone who showed up for the meeting tonight to first thank the counselors who have served and are serving right now for your service, and just let you know that during the times that I've worked with you, I've really appreciated your willingness to help facilitate the events that I put on here, and it's just been nice to work with a supportive city, and it's been great to be able to use Greenwaters Park for the Fat 55 and the Kids Mountain Bike Oakridge events that we've had the last couple years, and we look forward to putting on those events this coming year. And I just wanted to express my appreciation for the vibrancy of the democracy that's happening in our small community, and I think there are a lot of times when around election time things get really divisive, and I hope that we can just move forwards with a lot of positivity, and that's what I've gotten from the city, and just wanted to appreciate you all for that, and hope that we can carry that on. So, thanks guys.
Thank you. one, it kind of looks like a chicken walked across the page, but
Probably be me, Jerry.
that would be you.
Oh.
He is after all doctor. So to follow up some positive, a little more positive, wanted to thank the city for stepping up with the bonfire this year. The student council kind of fell apart on the notification process, but we were still able to get Robert out there, and we had the best bonfire ever. I don't know how many noise complaints we had from that, but the kids had a great time, and it was the best one we've had in years. I've always appreciated the cooperative nature between the city and the school district. And you know, with the change of leadership, I didn't see that change. I really appreciate that. Second thing, I wanted to, first time I got tried in an ambulance. You know, I worked with the police department for over 7 years, and we put a lot of people in ambulances. First time I rode in one, I was quite impressed. So I really appreciate what happened down there. Last thing was,
Don't worry, it's the medication.
I'm not on medication. But this is the deal. The city council members put up with a lot, and I really appreciate. Hard for me to even talk. But what you put up with for the last 8 years, the uncalled assaults, how seriously you took your job. They were lucky to have you. And it's why I stopped coming, because I can't stand to see people call her names. Because I just want to kick somebody out of the wood and kick their ass. But I can't do that, obviously not now. But you're lucky to have her. I know how hard the job is. And those of you that are stepping up into this position, do the best you can, because we count on all of you. And I'm proud of you. So thank you.
Yeah, a supporter.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. All righty, moving right along with all those positive comments, I'm feeling uplifted already. Mayor and council comments. Any council comments or mayor comments?
Turn your council comment, did you turn your cell phone off?
I would remind you to turn your cell
Never give him one of us.
Actually, I did, I was gonna get somebody else for a shot. Start with Sandy, as far as the 4th of July, as I understood it, a lot of from the letter that was in the Dead Mountain Echo, some of it was the golf course per se, in which case one of the options might be to look at an alternative venue as well, depending on safety and those types of issues. And the rest of them is kind of rolled together. Jane, for my part, sitting here is a privilege. So if anybody owes anybody a thanks, it would be thank you to the people that have given me support in the last couple of years. And to kind of tag along with what Jane said, the next meeting we will have some election results. And to each and every one of the counselors, with very, very little exception, I think everybody has behaved in a mature, courteous, and polite manner. And for my part, I do appreciate that, because I have politics like everybody else. I'm the least political person I know, but the gutter stuff, I don't care for. But each and every candidate, in my opinion, has done well, and I wish you all luck, regardless of the outcome, because this community is a lot bigger than this seat, or 3 seats, or 7 seats. We're 7 people among 3,000 plus. So regardless what the outcome is, good luck. And for everybody else, there will be those of you who agree or disagree with the outcome. In a democracy, it's a majority rule, so it doesn't necessarily matter if you agree or disagree individually. What the community, in my opinion, needs is for people to support the decision made by the people. It is, after all, a question asked of them. So regardless what the answer is, it will be the right answer. Just wanted to thank all the candidates for not getting in the gutter. I can go there with the best of them, but I'm glad that we didn't have to. So, good luck.
Thank you, Dan. In response to Sandy's comments, I belong to the golf course. And this year was tentative whether we even got to have it up there, because of the same reason, things that came up last year. They did it on a trial basis this year to see if some of those things had been corrected. Where I see the failure is we didn't jointly sit down and say, just what do we have to correct and how do we correct it? And they basically have a real liability issue on their, like, they feel that there's a liability issue. And from my observation, and I'm up there every year because I'm down on a piece of fire equipment, everybody has fun. There's illegal fireworks, there's drinking, there's all kinds of things that those people are talking about going on, and they bear the responsibility if anything happens, even though I think you folks had liability insurance, plus the fact that the drinking issue is a good point. There is no reason to sell beer.
That's right.
They don't have to do it. That's not part of the celebration necessarily. So they could easily just say, we're not selling any beer tonight. That's one option, like you said. And if they lose money on that, then that's a different issue. But I guess where I'm coming from is, Dan made the point of another venue. Somebody brought up the point of why not having it at the industrial park.
I think it's dangerous.
It's not so pretty, but at least it's the biggest place we got. Somebody said football field, that won't work. It's not big enough, first of all. And second of all, even though they got grandstands, you'd be firing the fireworks in the wrong places. So what we can do is ask for reconsideration on the part of them and offer them to sit down with them and actually formulate a plan, which includes an enforcement plan. They should have security or police up there enforcing not only the fireworks laws, but all the other stuff that's going on illegally. And I know the chief may not be in favor of that, but I know that that's something that can be built into the permit, that they have on-site security and trying to run around and enforce fireworks laws is kind of difficult. Fire department can't even enforce those. They can yell about them, but they can't do anything about it. And I'm not sure really what a police department stands on enforcing it, but anyway, I think that might be the approach I'd take, is approach the board up there at the golf course and offer them, ask them for reconsideration and offer an alternative. And then get them on board as part of the solution rather than dealing with the problem. Mr. Administrator.
Would it be proper for someone from council and myself to first sit down with Sandy prior to approaching the golf course again, so that we could probably go to the United Front?
Oh, I think that's what she's asking for, something along those lines, yeah.
So is that an okay from council that a
Anybody got any
consensus?
objection to that?
Okay.
Well, throw that to Susie.
And can I just throw one more thing in? I think part of this is getting the word out to the community, to some of these parents that weren't necessarily the best parents at this event. I was there, and children running all over, not being watched, no supervision, throwing fireworks and stuff all over the place, and I'm not sure who cleaned all that up. You guys cleaned it up. See, that's, yeah, and there's no reason that if they're gonna have fireworks, they can have them at home. They
That's
shouldn't
right.
bring them in there. We get that word out.
We've even, suggested that we'll put up temporary fencing around the golf course, so that there would only be one entrance, and we're willing to accept the responsibility for that expense, and so that we can bring people in one entrance.
Well, I think Mayor Shorty made a good point. Most events that generate that number of people, part of their permitting process, they're required to provide some semblance of security. And, we've got an undermanned police department that's not going to be able to provide the manpower to do that. So I think that might be a good option to look at.
you know, when you only have I only have 35 days, and so you learn a lot about mistakes. But we had 4 private people that were to come down and take care of it, and then they were broke down on on about milepost 23 for most of the event.
Yeah,
So
we're
they
talking
didn't
4
show up,
people
so-
for several hundred.
Yeah, exactly, so we needed, you know, I knew right away, okay, this is a problem for this year, what we would have to work on for next year.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. Additions, corrections, or adjustments to the agenda? Do we have any?
That's all.
I know it's not city administrator, it should drive you out of the place. All right, hearing none, we will go to the consent agenda. We'll have the minutes of the October 4th meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the October 4th city council minutes.
Moved by Councilor Barth, seconded by Councilor Fortune to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll ask for the vote.
Councilor Clark?
Aye.
Councilor Mayor Shorey?
Aye.
Councilor Kwadowski?
Didn't problem with your glasses?
No,
Trying to figure out what random means.
Oh.
Actually, Jackie told me where this form was, and it's actually very old, and I just noticed the
Name
names.
changes.
Yeah. Okay, Councilor Barkley?
Aye.
Okay. Councilor Mesa? Councilor Calhoun?
Aye.
Did I miss anybody?
Counselor Fortune's on the.
Councilor Fortune. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
All right.
You haven't been replaced in years.
That motion sort of carries. So we will move on to administrative services, 6.1, city administrative report.
All right, one of the first things I want to update on is the Atherton foreclosure process. On direction of the council, I completed some documents where Mr. Ken Jones will be appointed as the successor trustee for the Atherton note, basically, which means he's acting in our stead. And so I completed those documents yesterday, sent them back, so that he could continue. Once he gets these back, then he has to record it, and then he can go full force in the foreclosure process. So that's moving forward. The surety update, the bond update, we're just getting some more documents to send back to me. Hopefully I'll have that all done, hopefully by tomorrow or Monday for sure, so I can send the last items I need to send to those guys. And then the ones more. Right now, Public Works, I have them getting an estimate to see what it's gonna cost to rehab one of our wells, okay? I believe that we may be able to do that this year with our budgeted funds that we have. It's something that hasn't been done probably in 15 years. On average, those wells should be looked at, rehab, maximum 10 years, preferably 5 to 7. And we're running on 3, so it's something that I'm looking at seriously, so it's something I'll be bringing back later once I get some estimates on the cost.
Define rehab, is that like new pumps?
Well, with those wells, I'm learning a lot. It's the shaft that goes all the way down, then you've got the screens for everything, so it's everything from the bottom all the way up to the motors. Okay, so you're talking anywhere from $20,000 to maybe $30,000 to rehab one of the wells. And
Are any of them out of service right now?
well, we have a total of 6. You're running 3, and One of the reasons that you're not running a couple of them is we run number 4. 6 was drilled too close to 4. And then 3 was taken out of service because it has carbonated water. So you can't use that. And so when they run 4, they don't, it's 4, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 6 are too close to each other. So, okay, and so they run 4, because what happens if you try to run all of them, they suck too much water at the same time, okay? And then it makes a flow, it pushes it up high, and then it drops down real fast, and it really puts a lot of wear on the pumps.
Service.
Yeah, so actually we're only running 3, and hopefully next year during if we get to a strategic planning process, that will be one of the things that would be on there, would be talking about a new production well. So,
Anyway, we put a spigot on a carbonated one and maybe sell some.
There was a company interested in that well, but when they did the testing, it just didn't have enough
Not enough
carbonation. But yes, we did have a company look at that well.
Get a bottle of Pepsi, so.
So that's on that. Salt Creek Canal. The engineer will have 4 or 5 options for us, hopefully by the next meeting, or the first one in December, we'll have those options to you. The steering committee will look at them first and try and prioritize them before we bring them to you. And then y'all can decide which one you might want to go with. Then the next steps would be to look for money. So, I'll go ahead and do this one instead of at the library. As you know, Ms. Kelly has asked us about the HVAC units, and just an update, I am working on it. I have the engineer checking on different options for us, okay? And I also let her know that you all have been advised, and you are in the loop on what we're trying to do. So once I get some resolution or some further direction from the engineer, I'll get back with you guys. Realtor of record, we did not get any bites on that, so we will more than likely just end up continue to work with the city attorney, or I could go out one more time and put it into the registered guard and see if anyone down there is interested. So
Would it make sense to put a listing of surplus properties on the city website so that anybody with an internet access would have the basic information? At least it's
sure,
getting outside the building.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a
Yes.
realtor would be a bit more ideal, but at least that way somebody would have access to it.
Yes, that is something.
Louis, if you want me just to put them on, list them on our MLS, I will.
Okay, we'll take that.
Well, less is better.
All right.
I can just list them and,
Thank you,
I'll-
Doug.
refer to the council when somebody calls.
That's
All right,
pretty generous, thank you.
okay.
The,
Or just refer them to me.
I made a suggestion that we revisit the surplus property list, as that been recompiled so that we can, it was done rather hastily, I thought, last year when we were
No,
in the throes of rank whatever. And I think we should go back and revisit to see what we've got on there that's actually usable and not.
do you want me just to bring that back on the next meeting?
If you would.
Okay.
Is that all right with the council?
Yeah.
So we can,
Yeah.
because I don't even remember what's on
I think we
there.
should
And
revisit
some of
it.
them weren't overly marketable,
Yeah.
if I recall.
If you wait till the city administrator's done with his report, I will recognize you.
Thank you.
So bring back surplus.
When the original list came to council in October, so.
Okay, so bring back the surplus. I'm done, Your Honor.
You're done?
Yes.
Don?
I was just wondering if the council would consider offering the realtor of record the standard 6%, and maybe someone in town would bite on it.
Stay under 6%?
The standard, which
Standard
I think
6%?
is 6%.
If they handle both sides, otherwise it's split 3-3.
Well, it's something we can talk about.
Right, Joyce?
That's the way it goes.
Okay.
Still get 94% of it.
All righty, is that it, Mr. City Administrator?
That's all I have,
City Finance Recorder, Finance Report. 6.2.
Alright, I have them, just gonna take one of these. This is, the printout of all the checks that have been written. We have a few more this time because we didn't do it last time, so doing the first of the month, you get them for the previous month. We have the Here's to those, it has, that is, it's the, but we didn't have it last time. And this is a sheet that is for the cash position as of today. The Sioux general account has a total available of $243,955.94. And I will note that that is after payroll from yesterday, today was included in that, so it's good enough to be out. The Safer grant has a current balance of $23,423. Part of that will be coming out to reimburse the city for McKee's wages. That hasn't been pulled out of there yet, so that will actually increase the general account. The ambulance account has $57,631.53. The municipal court has $40,541.04 in it, and the LG IT remains unchanged since the last time, and it is at $258,325. Some of that is dedicated, as you know, for bonds. All right.
On the ambulance account, is this the total currently in the account on the right side there?
That's a total cash available, $325,000. That's a total of the general account. Apparently my Excel spreadsheet didn't print out total. That's a total of the general account, the Safer grant, the ambulance, and the.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
that's,
there's,
yeah, all right.
yeah, it's kind of one of those, I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to look at my Excel
All right,
spreadsheet.
I
I was in a
thought
hurry, the printer when I was trying to print out your checks just was not cooperating tonight, so I was a little bit rushed getting this one out.
Gotcha.
This LGIP balance is static back to like September, is that right?
Well, the only change in it, you'll see there's a little bit, is it did go up.
Low interest.
Well, it went up, the last one you got had the payment that we received, but then that transfers in and went out to prints for the library. It just kind of does remain static other than just a little bit of interest each month. I don't have the paperwork from them yet for the first of this month, because today's the first, usually that comes through on about the 5th or 6th, and so that'll be included in next month, so it'll show you the interest for October. That's not included because I don't have it yet. I haven't got a statement from them. An update for the donated money is we're continuing to disperse that. We anticipate that on the utility bills that go out within the next couple days, that we have a statement on there that anybody who applied for it before the deadline in June and has not picked up their check can now come into City Hall Monday or Tuesday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30 and pick that check. We're getting down to a small amount, so I don't think it'll be too disruptive as long as, they have it. And there are some people that have not picked their checks up, so we want to get that information out. I'll be putting that on the website and also posting that information around town. We didn't want to really announce it at this point. Jackie's been out. I want to make sure she was going to be coming back so that we did have the full staff in the office to handle that. And that will continue through the end of the month. The final date to pick up checks will be the end of the month, and that'll